Hey, how's it going everybody? It's your Crash Test Gamer here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Super card game video. And today I'm coming at you with my red-blue Trunks deck that I played in the ARG State Regionals in Arizona. I got top 8 with this deck. It's a really fun deck. You get to draw a lot. You get to put a lot of cards in your drop area in order to use warp cards, the overrealm cards. Of course, with Trunks, you're always drawing. You're always trying to get cards in your hand, and the worst matchup is Cell. Cell's when the Cell chain comes out, he puts you down to 3 cards. That's what one opponent did to me. He Cell chained me twice, and the game was pretty much over. I didn't have enough cards to combo with. I played the Cell chain once again, but he only Cell chained me once, and I was able to pull off that win. Alright, so without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so leader is Trunks, of course. On his front side, every time you combo with a card that has 2 energy or more, you get to draw a card. And on his awakened side, it's pretty much the same thing. You combo with a card that's 2 or more energy and you get to draw a card. Ideally, you want to be at 5 life when it's your turn again. You want to play maybe Saiyan Cabba, use a Saiyan Cabba, take a life, go down to 4 life. Then you want to combo one of your 2 energy or more cards to draw a card. Then what you would do is you would awaken, and then you draw 2 cards. Then you would combo again, or maybe just wait till you attack to combo again. But you can combo, but you can activate his ability on the front and the back. So combo a card when he's unawakened, awaken, draw 2 cards, combo again on his awakened side, and you net yourself 5 cards. And then of course you attack and get another card. So that's pretty much how you want to use them. Some opponents are aware of this. They'll try to stop you from doing that. But usually when they do that, I'll take the life, because it's so important to have a big hand when you're playing Trunks. On my blue cards, you got 4 boost attack Piccolos. Of course, this is a very crucial card. If you use these cards when you're at 4 life before you awaken, you can draw 2 cards, awaken, draw 2 more cards, combo another boost attack Piccolo, draw 2 more cards. So it can be pretty deadly when you're going for game. And next up is Unyielding Spirit Trunks. Of course, you combo with him, draw a card, and untap an energy. Because his ability is when you combo with him, you get to untap an energy. So you can tap yourself out, then combo with Trunks, draw a card, untap an energy, have another blue out in case you need to want to play a Senzu Bean or something like that to defend yourself. Yeah, you can play a Senzu Bean after you untap a blue. So now you got 2 energies untapped. And you can play a Cabba, you know. It's a really pilot intensive game. It's a really pilot intensive deck. You got so many things that you can do. So the skill level is pretty high with Trunks. It's not autopilot, you know. You can't like maybe Cell. All right, next up we have Son Goten. So this is pretty much just a search card. You use Mighty Mask. If you need a blue, you'll search for Son Goten. Next cards is 3 Raging Spirit Son Gohan. I cut this down to 3 cards. That felt good. I usually use him after I'm awakened as a defensive card. It puts another threat on the board at the very end when I want to go for game. My opponent ends his turn. I want to have a couple of these maybe on the board. So I'll keep them pretty much to the end or after I'm at 4 life. Mysterious Presence Monaka. Of course, this is for the Cell chain. This is super important to have. In case you get Cell chained, you can tap 3 energy, put this guy out on the board, and bounce his 7-drop Cell to the top of his deck, and all the cards underneath the Cell go into his drop area. So this is pretty much to save you from the Cell chain. Ultimate Judgment Jaco, of course, another card against any green deck. You can bounce the TN if they're trying to awaken. Saiyan Cabba. Okay, now on to red. We got 4 Saiyan Cabbas. Of course, this is crucial. Sometimes your opponents leave you at 5 life. If they're not sure you're running Cabbas, maybe they'll leave you at 6 life. So, and with this deck, it's really easy to use 2 Cabbas, especially with a Spirit Unyielding Trunks. So if they leave you at, let's say, something like 6 life, you'll use a Cabba, use his effect, take a life. Use Unyielding Spirit Trunks as a combo card, untap the red again, then you can use another Saiyan Cabba and then go down to 4 life, and then at that point you can awaken. Alright, next up is Mighty Mask, the Mysterious Warrior. Of course, this is a very good search card. Of course, for Trunks, we only have 4 Trunkses, but we want those targets. We want that ability to untap an energy, because we're always trying to tap out, because we're constantly being aggressive. We want to tap out. We want to tap out, but we need we need an open energy, maybe a blue, in order to play a Senzu Bean as a defensive card. Of course, next up we have Leap to the Future Son Goten. We only play one of those. This is of course another search card for the Mighty Mask. If you're starving for a red energy, you search this guy out, then you play him as an energy on your next turn. Next up is Furthering Destruction Champa. Of course, when you combo with him, it costs 1 energy, 10,000 boost, and you give your card that you're boosting, you give him double strike. This is a pretty good game ender. Sometimes I'll attack with my leader and then give him double strike and just go all in after that. Ability Unleash Ultimate Gohan. A lot of the time this will be played as energy. For some reason, I'm always getting this guy early, and I always draw 4 of them. Like within 3 turns, I've probably drawn all 4 of them. It's crazy. I'm always getting this card, so I'll pretty much use them as energy. I'll use them. I might use them on the turn I go for game to put a little pressure on my opponent, draw a card, or if my opponent is down to 2 life, I'll use a double strike effect, and we play 4 of those. Next up is Jiren, Fist of Justice. So yeah, you would want to play him against decks that like Mecha Frieza or blue-green decks that play a lot of boos, or the 2-drop green Goku that lets you draw a card. You would want to take them out with Jiren, so they don't have that combo power on the board. Time Patrol Trunks, I played 2 of those. With this deck, you're constantly putting cards in your drop pile, so you really want to play a Overwhelm card pretty much every turn. After about turn 2 or 3, your discard pile should be at 3 cards. Especially if you get a Monaka early against a card that doesn't run Cell Chain. Against a deck that doesn't run Cell Chain, you'd want to combo with him, draw a card. Then you use Mighty Mask turn 2, so that's 2 in your discard pile. Maybe combo with Mighty Mask during turn 2, and then there you go, 3 cards. You can pop out the Time Patrol Trunks if you have it in your hand. So Time Patrol Trunks, he allows you to draw draw 2 cards, put 1 in your hand, put the other one either on top or the bottom of your deck. Another great card for Trunks, because you keep wanting to build that hand. Sometimes what I would do is I would play the Time Patrol Trunks, attack with Trunks, use the Time Patrol Trunks as a combo card, draw another card. So he's pretty much drawing you 2 cards. You play 1 card, you draw 2 cards that way. All right, next up is Mira from the Darkness. This is a really good card. Let's say you're turn 3, you have 4 cards in your drop. You overwhelm him. Ideally, you would want your opponent to be at 5 life. You would overwhelm Mira. You'd attack with him. Pay an energy. Use Furthering Destruction Champa to make him double strike. Of course, you would draw a card from your Trunks effect. So this is a really good way to get your opponent from 5 life to 3 life. And he doesn't get to draw his 2 cards for taking the life. They go straight to his discard. And now we have Masked Saiyan, the Mysterious Warrior. In case your opponent, if your opponent still has a huge board, he hasn't comboed his boos or his Gokus, you could use this to wipe everything out, destroy a problematic card. He's also here for the tokens, just in case. All right, and now moving on to my specialty cards, I have 2 Senzu Beans. These are pretty good on the defense, or if you're going for game and you still have these in your hand, it's pretty good for untapping energy. 2 Results of Training, of course, just in case I'm against an opponent who doesn't attack at all. Usually if you're at 6 life, you can use the Cabbas to awaken. But if he leaves you at 8 life or 7 life, you're not really going to use 3 Cabbas to try to awaken. At that point, you're probably going to use the Results of Training. Just in case you're going up against one of those really hard stall decks that won't hit you at all, you would use Results of Training. Hopefully you would get it. I only run 2. Even with 2, sometimes you're drawing them when you don't want to. Sometimes they're stalling out your hand. You're just sitting there. Especially when you're playing against Sal. They always seem to come at the unopportune times. Next I run Son Goten, Family of Justice. This is really good in case you're playing the Mecha Frieza or the Golden Frieza. They're always dropping those 3 cost defensive cards that put a card on the board. So what you would do, you would combo with this card and destroy those cards. Sometimes Android decks like to put the Chilling Terror down to keep you from awakening. this card will counter that play. All right, on down to my sideboard. I have another Son Goten, Family of Justice, just in case I'm playing against somebody with a, who keeps playing these bodyguard cards, as they like to be called. I have another Senzu Bean, in case I want to be just a little bit more defensive. I also have the 2 Whis Coercions, in case I want to be more defensive. If there's really problematic cards, if there's really problematic cards that I have a hard time dealing with, I'll put in Whis Coercion. I have 3 objections. Of course, if somebody's running the cell chain and we're playing best of 3, you'll side deck these objections. So against a cell chain, you probably wouldn't want the Raging Son Gohan, so you'd probably replace the Raging Son Gohan with objections. Then we have 2 more Ultimate Judgment Jacos. If you're playing a best of 2 and they're against somebody that's not running a cell chain, you would remove the Mysterious Presence Monaka, put in Ultimate Judgment Jaco, and maybe another Senzu or Son Goten. Of course, Mysterious Warrior Monaka. If you are playing a cell chain, you would probably put this 4th Monaka in there. You want that to be in your hand at the very beginning, because some people like to do early cell chains on turn 3. 2 Supporters of Hope Mai. I didn't really see much use for this. They'd probably be best against Vegeta, but Vegeta's not really being played anymore. I didn't face any Vegetas. We have, of course, Miraculous Comeback Ultimate Gohan. This used to be in my deck originally, but I would never use them. You might want to put them back in if you're going against a cell chain. With a cell chain, they're playing Cell, Son Goten, Family of Justice. You might want to cut this down to 1. Put one of these Gohans in there. Maybe cut a Mira. But yeah, this is my very first deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, so this is my very first deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. I was testing out a few ways to do the deck profile, but I feel that the octagon is the best way. I did do it where the camera was just facing my playmat, and I was using the physical cards. But I like this better. It's more clearer. My camera is not the best, so I hope you guys like this version of it. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to like or subscribe if you're so inclined, and I'll see you guys next time.